It is officially Sunday, the 24th of October, and I really want to welcome you to the Peacock Effect live coaching sessions with me, Judy Bullymore. Very quickly, I am an employment specialist. I'm a dream job mentor, and my clients call me the Queen of Interviews. That's because I work with such talented, wonderful individuals, and usually they come to me because they're applying, they're interviewing, they're really career driven, and they're applying for jobs that they really want. They're applying for jobs that they have the skills and experience to do, but they are finding that they're either not getting shortlisted or they're not getting past those final interview stages. And sometimes it's a mixture of not having the kind of technique of understanding what will enable them to have the competitive edge when applying. Sometimes it's due to just a bit of confidence. Confidence is a bit low because they've been in that kind of cycle where they're applying, they're interviewing, but they're not getting shortlisted. And then they start to question, is it me? Maybe I'm not enough. And once we've kind of addressed the confidence side of things, they realize, yeah, they absolutely are enough. They've got all the skills, they've got all the experience. Sometimes it's about just the packaging of expertise and it's hard to bring yourself to life to somebody who doesn't know you. So the Peacock Effect today is all about addressing all of those things so that when you're applying and when you're interviewing, you do so from a place of power, you do so from a place of confidence, and you have that technique that allows you to stand out from the competition. So if that sounds good, then continue watching. And if you tune in, come and say hi, just give me your name and let me know kind of what sector or what kind of job that you're applying for, because that will really help me. So definitely in the comments, say hi. If you don't feel comfortable with sharing your name, just tell me kind of how you're finding the application at the moment, the job application process. Are you finding that you're getting shortlisted? Are you finding that you are getting to interview? Have you received any feedback? Use me today because you can ask me any questions. I will answer it using my expertise to help you apply or interview for your next role much more powerfully. So I'm just going to put in the comments and say hi and what sector you're applying in, and how are you finding it all? Because that will just help me gauge where you're at, kind of thing. And also, if you don't mind, I'm going to have my phone just on the side, just so that I can see any messages. I just don't want to miss anything. So yeah, that's why you might just see me glance very quickly at my phone. So today, Peacock Effect. I want to drive straight in. Oh, here we go. Oh, hi, Sarah. Oh, I'm having to reapply for my own job because they're restructuring. So much going on right now. So much change, blooming management. I work in marketing and business development and in construction consulting. Wow. Marketing and business development. It's actually quite niche, that is. Sometimes what I'll help you do is positioning. So experience, you can do so much when you know how with your experience. And like in marketing, applying for a job has principles in marketing because you're the brand. You are the brand. It's the brand, the wonderful brand of you. So I'm definitely going to focus on how you can maximize the wonderful brand that is you. But applying for your own job within your own company, I've had to do this before, actually, in my in public health, when I was working in public health. And there's just something about the fact that they kind of have a heads up about you. But so that it could be that the people that are making decisions already know about you, or so then it comes down to reputation, and it also comes down to sometimes they don't know everything that you've been working on, and that is usually a really good opportunity to remind them of your added value, to remind them about the impact that you have, and remind them about what actually happens if you're not there. Because sometimes, as we'll get to when we're talking about positioning of expertise, having a really strong example of what you do best is sometimes it's to do with having tangible examples to say, when I did this, I have developed a 20% increase in sales, or I reached X amount of people. But sometimes being able to communicate your value is about the consequences of what you avoided. So without me there, this wouldn't have happened, So it's really about gathering all of your expertise and packaging it. If anybody else is watching, then please just let me know what kind of sector you're applying for, jobs that you're applying for, and your name. I'd love to know who's behind in the network, and how you're finding it. How are you finding the process of applying and interviewing? Are you getting shortlisted for interview, or have you received any feedback? Because that will help me just tailor a little bit. So today I don't want to do, because I've done this before, where you attend these kind of coaching sessions and they go on for ages. I really want to keep succinct today, because you can always catch up on the replay, and I can always send more information to you. So I'm going to aim to have this to have gone through it by 12, and then there'll be time for questions and things as well at the end. But also, this is really relaxed, so drop me messages, ask me questions, whatever helps. I don't know if you have downloaded the workbook, but if not, no problem. I'm going to go through it. But if you have a pen and a notebook or paper to hand, it will really help for you to make some notes, because we're going to be creating a bit of a power statement today. I want to leave you with something like tangible that you can see. So first of all, I'm going to get straight into it. I'm going to talk about Peacock mode. This is step 1. So there's 3 steps to the Peacock effect. There's getting into Peacock mode. There's using Peacock words, step 2, and step 3 is about fanning your feathers and putting it all together. And they're in order for a reason. And 1 + 2 = 3. So you kind of need these 3 things, and they make such a massive difference. Hi, Malika. I'm so glad you joined. Malika, just share what sector you're applying for and how you're finding the process at the moment. Just to gauge where you're at and how I can help today. So getting into Peacock mode, it's one of those things that are fundamental, and a lot of people miss this, and this is going to come in handy before you tweak your CV or you apply for a job. This is going to come in really handy when you are performing a job search and you see that role and you think, have I got what it takes? Oh, I've got 80%, but I haven't got, they're saying that they want this, but have I really got this? I think I've got this. And when it's like you're questioning, you're almost talking yourself out of a job that you might be really interested in. Did you see my question? Oh, sorry, I think I've missed a question. got an interview tomorrow, okay, for a job you really want. I tend to lose my trail of thought and no confidence. How do I overcome? Okay, so today, the confidence bit will be sorted as long as you kind of practice it and step into peacock mode. And losing trail of thought, I'm going to write this down, and there is an absolute way of remembering your trail of thought. It's to do with technique, and just having a bit of a game plan ready for tomorrow. So I will come back to that at the end of how to not lose your trail of thought. So I'll definitely come to that of thought. Okay. And yeah, confidence. So this is the confidence bit right now, Nicola. Peacock mode. This is what you do. You get into peacock mode. And this is about anchoring. Everyone needs an anchor. It's that bit where when you have self-doubt, or when you're just like getting a bit nervous, or you're questioning your abilities, or anything like that, then you think to yourself, right, I need to get into peacock mode, and I need to get into peacock mode quick. So when I go through this today, I would be practicing it throughout the job application process, like daily or every couple of days, and just really strengthening your anchor. And it will all make clear when we go through this together. So first things first, what I would like you to do is to start thinking about your accomplishments, things that you're really, really proud of, because we've all achieved amazing things, and it's so easy to just skirt them away and be, focusing on what's not happening or what you might not have. But actually, we've got some amazing things that we've achieved, and we just need to quickly remind ourselves of them. So what I'd love you to do is think of 3 things, whether it's personally or professionally, that you're really damn proud of achieving. It could be at work, it could be in your life, it could be recently, whatever it may be. If you don't feel comfortable sharing now, like in the chat, then just write them down for me. So 3 things that you're really, really proud of achieving. Like it could be something that you got through and it was really hard to do, or you just like a small win, or what feels like, yeah, that was a big win, what I did. 3 things that you're really, really proud of. So I'll share mine off the top of my head. So I'm really proud of being a single mother. I'm actually really proud of it because it was really hard in the very beginning. And then I kind of like I stepped into it and embraced it. And it actually made me stronger. It made me more kind of fearless in life. So I'm actually really proud of that because it was a big decision to make, but I did it and I'm proud of it. Another thing that I'm really proud of, and when I question whether or not I'm, can do certain things, I'm really proud of speaking on the radio as much as I have, because I had an intention that I really wanted to share my message. And because it was the BBC, I was like, the BBC has a reputation, and maybe like I'm a bit amateur for the BBC, but I came through all of those kind of limiting beliefs, and I've spoken on the radio 7 times now on different radio stations, and it's something that I'm really proud of. I'm also proud of my mum, caring for my mum. I'm a carer for my mum. She has bipolar, and I'm really proud that I am that really strong person in her life, and that she's given me so much love, and I'm really proud of the relationship that we have. So sometimes, I mean, I've got more and you're going to have more, but 3 things that you're really proud of achieving, whether it's personally or it's professionally. And if you feel comfortable sharing, then that would be lovely, just so we can see what what other people are proud of achieving. Okay, now let's think about someone who you really, really respect. Because the person that comes to mind is going to give you clues about you and your personality and the things that are special about you. So if you do this exercise, it's going to be really telling. So think about someone who you really, really respect, but somebody who you respect, who you've had interaction with. They don't have to know you really, really well, but you've kind of had some kind of interaction with. Someone who you really respect, and write that person's name down or have them in your mind. And I just want you to think really quickly 3 things of why you respect them. What is it about them that you really respect? And why are you thinking that? I'm just going to read some of the messages so I'm not missing anything. Private roles as a strategy director. Someone from additional marketing. So it's a level up. Okay, next level roles. My sister Sarah, that's lovely. What 3 things of why you respect her so much, Sarah? How do I compete against those who follow the traditional route to strategy? I don't want to compromise on that. Put in the word. Okay, Malika. How do I compete against those who have followed a traditional route? Okay, yeah, let's embrace your direction. Okay, I'm going to come back to your one at the end, Malika, because it will probably make more sense after we've done step 1 and step 2. Yes, so this person who you really respect, what is it about them that you really respect? What is it that they do? What's the traits that are important to you? And anyone who feels like sharing, please share. For me, funnily enough, Sarah, me too, my sister, she is like, she's the glue that holds the family together. She's the one who, you know, how some people are just naturals at hosting and like are quite happy to have lots of people around, and she's a really great cook. She is really giving, and she's always a glass, you know, full kind of person, little ray of sunshine. And whenever you're in a problem, she's really resourceful. She'll literally anything. My car's broke down. What do I do? I'm in a real pickle. What do I do? She's always got an answer. She's always got a solution. She's just a real go-getter type of person, and I really respect her for those reasons. But yeah, so now that you've got hopefully a few reasons as to what it is about this person that you really respect, look at those words. I found it respect her because she is bold enough to share her views on the topic. Okay, so let's just take Malika's response here to someone who she really respects. It's because she's bold enough to share her views on the topic. So that says to me that this person has a really strong perspective, and she has the confidence and the bravery to just commit to it. Would I be right, Malika? And Nicola, oh, my daughter, for all the challenges she's been through. She has autism, ADHD, and she passed her driving test first time. Wow. Yeah. Wow. It's like strength. It's like coming through adversity. It's just shining through the difficulties. And you respect that because it's feel good. It shows that it's possible. It shows that it's the confidence, it's the strength. And we all have that within us. We have that within us. There's so many things that we've come. Look at the things that you've that you've put down for what you're really proud of achieving. Always positive, confident, never flaps. Yeah, like me, actually. But guess what? You might have these. You might have these traits too, but you respect them for a reason. So now, just turning this very slightly, I want you to write down honestly what the people that who you've identified, who you really respect, how do you think that they would describe you in 3 words? What would they say if you asked them that question? What do you respect about me? What is it about me that you really appreciate? What would they say? And please share that. What would they say about you? My sister tends to go that she always says, Judy, you're such a beautiful person. I think that she likes, I think we're very similar because I get so much from her positivity and that glass half full, glass full kind of concept. And I have that energetic like match to her, and she gets so much from me too, which is why we have so much in common. But yeah, how would they describe you in 3 words, do you think? Honestly, don't be all shy about it. We need you to be positive and confident today. What would they say about you? And please share 3 words. And hopefully you're writing this down because you will have quite a few words that we can play around with in a bit. Anybody care to share? So always positive. Just making sure I don't miss anything. So far, we have wrote down 3 things that we're really proud of achieving. We're writing down people who we really respect and the reasons why we respect them. And now we're writing down what they will probably say about us or what they'd appreciate in us. So Malika, thank you. They would say that, you'd hope that they'd say that you're curious, open-minded and driven. Wonderful. What this tells me is that you really respect people who have a really strong perspective, that are bold, brave and confident enough to put their message out there, and that message be a message for good, and that you really appreciate, you really respect curiosity, an open mind. An open mind means so much. It means that you care, that you are not a stereotyper, that you have space for so much stuff, so many ideas, so many perspectives, and that you're driven. Nicola, bubbly, hardworking and intelligent. Oh, I love that. So bubbly is a way of describing someone's personality. Bubbly is like lively, energetic, happy, positive. It's like got a bit of humour, got a bit of life, got a bit of colour to it. What a lovely word, bubbly. Hardworking, intelligent. Oh, I love that. Intelligent. So now let's just go one step further with the 3 things that you would say that the person that you respect would describe you. Let's add a bit of detail to that. What are they referring to exactly? Is it something that you've done in the past together, or is it something that you've produced? Is it something that you've helped them with? Is it something that they just get from you all the time? What are they referring to, do you think? So, Sarah, kind, fun, silly, worry too much. How would they describe you? Okay, so what are they referring to? Why are you so kind, Sarah? What? Because this might not just be your sister that you're kind to. You might be a really, really kind person all round. So what is it that you think your sister might be referring to? Fun and silly. Love that. But that means that you don't take yourself too seriously. So if she says that you worry too much, it could be that your natural nature is to be fun, silly, and, you know, that kind of, let's not take ourselves too seriously. So then there's just something that she's like, let that bit go and just be like your wonderful best self kind of thing. So what are they referring to? Because this is important here. There will be a theme. It probably is that the energy that you're giving to the people that you respect is the same energy that you just give anyway. It's part of your personality. It's part of what makes you wonderful, what makes you special. And if you can get a few more words out of this, then it's going to be more to help you to realize how you can be described, what it is about you that's unique. Because what's wonderful about this is that everybody's got their own little, everyone is slightly different. You know, you give off your own unique energy. So what are they referring to when they're when you're being described in these kind of 3 words? So Malika, driven. What are they referring to? What have you kind of shown them that you're determined and driven to do? And hopefully you'll have a few more. So if anybody feels like just sharing anything that they might be referring to that you've kind of done or shared or helped them with, that is the answer to why they're describing you in any of these ways, then please share. Okay, so we should have a bit of a picture of your, we're building an anchor here, and what we're trying to do is just allow you to very quickly, whenever you're having a bit of a wobble about whether you're, you know, able to do something or whether you can do something, I want you to be able to say really quickly, wait a minute, I've achieved this, this, and this, and I am a lovely person who has got a reputation for being kind, for being humorous, for being fun. I am a blooming hard worker. There's, you know, if they're looking for a hard-working person to do this, I'm your person. It's just, you know, you've got these things at your disposal, and it's about being able to just get into Peacock mode really quickly and just remind yourself about what it is about you that's really great, quite frankly. So if you've got a few more kind of a bit of a rationale as to why you're being described in this way, then that's the evidence. So hopefully you'll have something like, Malika, I'm open-minded and I'm driven. They're saying that about me because I worked damn hard in that position, and I produced so many wonderful things like this, this, and this. And she really appreciated that because I showed her what I'm made of. Lauren, oh, hi, Lauren. Lovely for you to join us. We're in step 1 at the moment, Peacock mode, and we're just entering a really confident, fearless, positive frame of mind. I don't know if you've seen the workbook. It's actually on my website, but rather than going off, we're just going through it together. So if you've got pen and you've got paper, Just as a quick catch up, I just want you to think about 3 things that you're really proud of achieving. Just off the top of your head, even if it's just one thing that you're damn proud of achieving. Thinking of somebody you really respect, someone who you really appreciate, who you've had some interaction with in the past. What is it about them that you really respect and appreciate? And how would you think that they would describe you in 3 words? And she's like, oh! Oh, that's beautiful. Lauren, you're amazing. First time driving. First time. Yeah, I remember a friend, and it took them 7 times to pass their driving test. And after the second, I was like, you can do this. 3rd time, yes, don't worry, it's all lessons. And it got to the stage where I was like, I know you're going to do this, but I really, really hope that you do, because this is time. This is Peacock mode time, when, you know, you're having to really dig deep. Oh, I didn't know you could do stars. I'm quite new to YouTube, you know. I didn't know that you can put these stars on, but thank you. Did you do that with the emoji thing? Anyway, so back to, right, so that's Peacock mode. We haven't entirely finished Peacock mode. I just now need you to put it all what you've got on your paper. I want you to make a powerful statement out of it. And if we had the workbook, you'd be able to see it. But if you can't, just want you to just complete this sentence. I want you to put your name. Proudly state your name. So I am Judy Bullymore. I want you to say it out loud as well. I mean, Lauren, you can hear, but if you're worried about anybody hearing, don't worry. Say it loud and proud. I am your name. And I have a reputation. Let's write this out. I have a reputation for, and I want you to add the 3 things that, or just choose the 3 words that you really align to. Like, you really like that. You like being described as kind. You like being described as hardworking, or whatever words that are on your paper. And if you're just doing this now, just write down 3 things that you have a reputation for, that you feel like, yeah, I do this. This is what I'm known for. Creative, strategic, and innovative. So you'll be saying, like, I'm Malika, and I have a reputation for being creative, strategic, and innovative. Yeah. And I want you to just add a final line. I want you to add, and I have achieved, and then the 3 things that you have accomplished in your life, or professionally or personally, whatever you wrote down. I have achieved. And then when you've done that, I just want you to finish it off as, an employer should think themselves lucky to have me in their team. An employer should think themselves lucky to have me in their team. That final line is the attitude that sums up Peacock mode. It's not a question of whether you can do it. It's not a question whether you've got the skills and experience for it. It's that they should be lucky to have you in their team, because you can deliver. You have got what it takes. And actually, when you get into that role, when you're giving that opportunity, you're going to thrive. You're going to run with it, and you're going to have the impact that you want. And if you can kind of allow yourself to get into that frame of mind, no time for the doubts. Let's focus on that, and let's believe that. Is Lauren, and I'm kind, a good team player. Wonderful. And I have achieved, Lauren, I have achieved passing, the driving test first time, or whatever you've put down is what you've achieved. Embrace it. Be proud of it and state that. And an employer would be lucky to have me within their team. Yeah. A lot to do with confidence is belief. And confidence is what I describe as a muscle that has to be built. You can decide to be confident. You can wake up. You can say right now, as of 11:45, in a few minutes' time, I am going to be confident. That's part one, a decision to be in a positive, confident frame of mind. But in order to kind of step into it and believe it and to show it, so to have the inner confidence and the outer confidence, you have to work at it. And it's about being able to get into this peacock mode or a positive frame of mind or a confident frame of mind as quickly as you need to. So if you're doing this regularly, what you're doing is you're training your brain to not only believe it, but to accept praise, to accept positive words, and to be in a mindset where you're like, quite frankly, the employer is lucky to have me. So I do want this role, but actually they should think themselves lucky too, and it's like a mindset shift. So I would really, really encourage you to turn what you've written into more statements and have them up. Say them to people, because the more you speak it, the more it becomes real and the more it becomes more natural. Not to mention that these words not only can be used to describe you, but they're also your skills. Skills can be technical skills, like I'm IT proficient, or I've got skills in, I don't know, SaaS or change management or whatever. But skills can be thought of like the energy, the impact, the things that you uniquely can do that not everybody can do. So you can sandwich these traits when you're writing about yourself or when you're talking about yourself and get it in to your answers, into the way that you describe yourself. Okay, so that's peacock mode, or it's a form of anchoring. It's a way of getting into that confident frame of mind. So if you've got that interview tomorrow, then do this, do more of this, do this before the interview, do it on the morning of the interview. There's also other ways of getting into a positive frame of mind, like listening, creating like a dream job playlist where you instantly only listen to music that keeps you, positive. Or if going out in fresh air is something that just clears your mind and allows you, or journaling, all different things. I've actually got a resource on getting into peacock mode, which I will share with you. So peacock words, step 2. So that was step 1, getting into peacock mode. Really, really important whenever you're applying for a job, for an interview, about to tweak your CV, get into that positive frame of mind. So now we're going to get into understanding peacock words. And Lauren, you said that you're a good team player. And I love that, because straight away I know that you're a good team player. But the peacock words are going to make that, we're going to strengthen it and make it even more powerful. So rather than it being that you're a good team player, it's going to be something like, I'm an exceptional team player. We're gonna basically jazz it up. So peacock words, these can be used both in your application documents and also to talk. So over the phone, if you're speaking to a recruiter or an interviewer, and face-to-face in an interview situation, online. The concept is that we want to swap anything that sounds kind of, that's nice. And we want it to have a really powerful impact. So to illustrate what I mean by peacock words, I'm just going to quickly do 3, just to, as an intro to peacock words. 3 commonly used phrases that I have literally, what I did in preparation for this, I went to LinkedIn and I looked at people's profiles, just a general, not yours, but like just a general kind of thing. And also I'm a CV writer, and I do reviews and stuff of people's application documents, and I've already had this kind of thing in my mind anyway, where it's like, oh, you've said that word, you've used that term, oh, we've got to change this. So these are really common phrases that people use, what I call recruity speak, because it's kind of like when you're in the job application process, you kind of have like a pass to talk in a certain way, where you can say, I have demonstrable years experience in this, and I have experience in that. And it's certain words that are really commonly used that you probably wouldn't use with anybody in your network other than like if you was applying for a job. And by going through them, what I'll hopefully help you do is just avoid using them and switch them up, make them more powerful. So if you've got the workbook, you'll see that I've listed them out. But if you haven't, no problem. Just take the first one. I'm going to take I am good, I am a team player, and I am experienced in. We're going to take those 3 and we're going to we're just basically going to get a peacock on. Okay, so I am good. I am a good team player. I am good, good hardworking person, or the word good. Let me just point out why I've got a slight issue with good. It's just because it doesn't, when you're thinking about the impression that you want to make to prove that you're the best person for this job role that you want, when somebody's reading your application or your CV, or when somebody's like sat there and making a decision of whether or not you're going to be the right fit within their team, it's all about impact. It's all about connection. It's all about almost like a bit of a likability factor. So a word like good, it is good, it's a positive word, but in terms of impact, it doesn't really pack a punch. It doesn't say as much as it could do about you. Obviously, you can use good with other words, which would then bring it to life a little bit more. Or you could just choose one kind of peacock word that would position you a little bit more strongly. So I am good. How can we change that up? Let's get our kind of like wordplay hat on today. If we was to do a brainstorm of good, what other words are going to come out? The first one that comes to mind for me is exceptional, because I just feel like that word has more confidence behind it. It's like, I'm not good, or great, or, help me out here. How could we strengthen I am good? Let's find some more really confident, powerful words that are used to describe you. So, Lauren, if you're with your mom now, Lauren's not just good. What else is she? And then share that in the chat if you can. But yeah, we want to really pack a punch. So, team player. I am a team player. If we was to break down what that actually means, we're going to get more from it. So with all of the words that describe you, I want you to perform the same exercise as what I'm going to do with team player. And then it will help you to find more powerful words. So if we was to think about being a good team player or being a team player, Really common, people say team player, and that's because why is it that an employer needs a team player? From an employer's perspective, they need somebody who is not going to go into their role and ruffle everybody's feathers, alienate themselves, and not get on with anyone. And, they give them a task, they don't really do it, and they just don't have like that company ethos of a one team or a unity, kind of a positivity that comes from being a team player. So from an employer's perspective, they need somebody who's going to get on with everybody and be energetic and take things forward and not hold back. Thinking of just in a work setting, team players, the best team players are usually the ones that are open-minded. They're usually the ones that listen. They're usually the ones that can communicate. They're usually the ones where you've got like an agenda, you've got a project, you've got deadlines, and they go out of their way to be helpful. They don't like sabotage it and put a big massive spanner in the works or bring the energy down. They're the ones that are like, come on guys, let's get this done. They have that energy. And a really great team player is somebody who gets stuff done. Like they actually have a task, and not only did they do their end of it really well, they support everybody else's or whoever else is in their team, so that if that person is away or somebody's ill or there's a challenge, they can be relied upon to solve that problem or to contribute to making stuff happen. So if you was to describe yourself as a team player, it's actually the traits that make the team player that you want to be emphasizing that you have. Like, I'm a fantastic communicator. I'm the one to be relied upon when there's a challenge. I'm the person who's reliable, who thrives under pressure. I'm the one who listens and communicates really well. Yeah? So it's not just about the word, it's about the impact, it's about the meaning of what that word means that you can do. So if you was to even just take 3 words that have been used to describe you, and was to use this concept of peacock words and what it means to have a peacock word, to create that impact, to create that power. That I'm just looking at one now. So Sarah, you've said you would be described as kind, right? So if we was to like peacock that word, kind, it's like the reason why you're kind. Especially if it's a job that, if you're applying for a job where kindness actually is beneficial, if it was the type of job where, or an environment where kindness goes a long way. So you could be kind because you see the best in people, because you're empathetic, because you care, because you have time for people. So to peacock your CV or your cover letters or your application forms, rather than just saying, I'm kind or I'm a team player, you could then say, I am known for being a really empathetic, caring and kind individual. Find more words to add to the impact that you want to create. So the minute you break down each word, you're going to find more. And then what I need you to do is to get into Peacock mode and choose the most potent and powerful. So in any kind of list, or if you was to look at your CV and be like, that's an all right word, but actually, does that do me justice? Let's swap that word. And then, like in the statements where we state, I am a, or I have a reputation for. It's like the claim. You want to get in the habit of making more bold statements about yourself, which is why the exercise in Peacock 1, if you do step 1, getting into Peacock mode, if you do this regularly, where you're actually saying out loud, I do this, I can do that, I have accomplished this. The more you do that, the more easier it is to position yourself at the top of your potential. So I'm not saying that good is bad or team player is bad, but what I am saying is you can absolutely strengthen that by just adding or looking at it and thinking, I feel like I could do a bit better than this. Let's use extensive, let's use fantastic, let's use reputation for, let's use extensive. There's certain words. I've actually developed a cheat sheet that is going to be so helpful if you wanted any more support with this. Okay, I'm just conscious of the time. I did say that step 3 is about fanning your feathers. It's about bringing it all together so that when you're in an interview, when you're having to talk about yourself, when you're having to write about yourself, that you have this way of showcasing yourself really positively and impressively. Now, when it comes to an interview, if you're in Peacock mode, which is your most confident, fearless version of yourself, you've reminded yourself of why you're fantastic, and you're in that kind of attitude where employer will be lucky to have me. So I'll show them what I'm made of. But if they don't see that in me, then quite frankly, they're not the right one for me. And it's that kind of energy that you want to kind of muster on the day of an interview. You're using Peacock words, so you know the difference between going, I want this job because I really like the company, as opposed to, I really feel like I'll be a great fit for this company for all of these reasons. You know, slight change, but it means a lot. So to fan your feathers is to present yourself really authentically at the top of your profession. So I could sit here and I could give you a load of tips about how to sit or how to talk, or, you know, a lot of interview coaches do have their own way. But what I find with the people that I coach is that the minute they give themselves permission to be themselves, to be the most kind of confident version of themselves, but just to be themselves, to talk naturally, not put anything on, like any kind of like different voice, or, you know, today I'm going to use my posh voice, or, you know, it's all right using stronger words, but if it doesn't feel natural, that's where kind of the practice comes in. But just imagine this. We are all energy, and you can sense the people that aren't entirely being genuine. And in an interview, that is actually what an interviewer is looking for. That's what they're testing on. This is what they don't tell you, but it massively influences their decision. If they sense that somebody is either holding back or they're not really being authentic, they can actually feel it. It's quite easy to feel. It's so much easier to align with somebody and connect with somebody when you just feel like they're being natural. Because the thing is, like someone like like yourself, is it Sarah who's kind of fun? Yes, like you, Sarah, fun and silly. That is a really endearing trait. So if you was to go into interview and be really serious, like overly serious, overly professional, then they're not going to get that from you. They're not going to get that like fun, energetic, positive, silly side. I'm not saying go into an interview and crack a load of jokes, but what I'm saying is, if you're more self-aware about the things that people feel in you and see in you, respect you for, appreciate you for, and you actually look at that list that you made about yourself and believe it and be like, yeah, I am bubbly. I'm a really hardworking person. I am very intelligent. Like Nicola, intelligence. That's a great thing to have. What does that mean? Like, are you great at numbers? Are you really good at problem solving? Do you have a hell of a lot of common sense? Intelligence can mean different things, but, you know, embrace and enjoy what it is that makes you you. And it's that you bring when you're presenting yourself, when you're pitching, when you're interviewing. It's that way you go, I'm going to allow myself to show this part of myself, because they're the extras that you get when you add that to actual examples of, you know, the experience that you've had, which they're also testing for and checking for, and they're also checking for your skills. But how do you show these skills if they're looking for someone who is, they want to hit the ground running, and they're looking for somebody who's really hardworking, and they're looking for somebody who's really strategic? Then you can say that. You can say, I'm hardworking, I'm strategic, but you could show it. You could show your strategic energy by the overview. Like, strategy means to be able to look at something in a really holistic way and be able to put things in place to bring it all together. You know, it's an interview can be an interview strategic. You can use your strategic ability to think to yourself, what do they need to see about me to make that decision easy for them, to know that I'm the best person for the role? All right, they need to know that I can do this and this. So I'm going to show them this. I'm going to allow myself to show them this. And that's just going to be, I have no doubt that the jobs that you want to do, that you can do. I'm not, and if you feel like genuinely you're seeing jobs that you want to do and you don't feel like you've got the right level of experience or the right level of skills or whatever, that could be just a confidence thing, or it might be a practical thing. What I'd say is just book in a chat with me, and we can actually go through it and see whether or not you do have the skills and experience, because I actually believe that all the jobs that you're looking for, you do have the skills and experience. I'm going to make that assumption as well today, that you have got the skills and experience. So actually, for the interview, or when you're having to talk and present yourself, it's just about showing the bits that are behind the application. You're showing really the person that's behind the words. You're going to bring these words to life. So, and you're going to bring your experience to life. And the best way of bringing yourself to life is to use the right words that position you at the best, but then to show you at your best, which is you being yourself, you being authentic, you trusting that lovely, quirky curiosity, Malika, that you have, and that open-mindedness is a trait that they want to see too, because that's how you align yourself to a dream job. There is a way of applying for a job's sake because you need a job. That has a slightly different strategy to it. That's where you would, if you really needed a job like tomorrow, then you would align yourself to exactly what they're looking for. And it might actually mean that you end up having to minimize yourself because maybe you're overqualified for it, or maybe it's not the right energetic fit. I believe that with the right tools and techniques, you can get jobs that you want, whether you want them or not want them. But if you're looking for the right role, if you're looking for the right employer, if you're looking to be kind of happy in that role, then if you are yourself on the day, you're authentic, you're not hiding, you're just bringing to life and maximizing what you do best, the employer or the interviewer will feel that from you. They'll appreciate that from you. They'll respect you more for it. And it will help connect with them. It will help them remember you, because it's so endearing when someone's just being like natural. So fanning your feathers in Peacock terms is just to put Peacock mode with Peacock words and then be really authentic. And if that means practicing out loud what you do best, if that means having a word play on how you describe yourself and your experience, and being able to make that a bit more succinct so that it stands out, make it a bit more powerful, enhance it and elevate it, then that can make all the difference. It really can. So that is the Peacock effect. Is everybody with me? I feel like I spoke loads in that little final section. Better, it's on its way to you. Oh, sorry, I've missed some. I got out of a toxic workplace 3 weeks ago. Good for you. As they said, I can't do my job properly. Oh my word, don't get me started on discrimination. So looking for something better. That really winds me up. It really, really does. I cannot bear them. Yeah. And I do actually believe, Lauren, just like what I was saying, that there is an ideal workspace, there is an ideal job out there that does appreciate you. And actually, when you're, these are the questions, these are the things, this is like the power. A lot of the time, people apply for a job, they go to an interview, and they think that the interviewer holds all the cards, and that, you know, like, if they don't say yes to me, then it means that somehow you failed or something. No, you have more power. You're also there to check that they're the right fit for you. And so, you know, I'm a big advocate for checking out a company, speaking to an employer or an interviewer before you actually make that application, to really find out whether or not it is the right fit. I believe that, you know, you can make a good situation out of anything, but you spend a lot of time at work, so it might as well be the right role. I'm not saying there's a perfect environment, but if it's making you feel not in a peacock mode, then it might not be the right environment. They might not appreciate you. So hold your worth and have that belief that there is the right job, the right environment out for you. Because you've got more to gain by believing that than not believing that. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Nicola, absolutely. Well, I used to work for the MS Society, the national charity. So I did a lot of, you know, in terms of having any kind of disability, there's so many things that are so, like, some employers, some people, they're so closed-minded. It really, really winds me up. But there are employers out there, particularly I've noticed charities seem to be much better at kind of understanding, but it all depends. I feel like in the UK we're a bit behind in terms of the opportunities, but definitely connect with me, Lauren, because I can probably share a few things as well. Where you working? Sorry, I've just got a message. Just need you to where you working? Defo didn't deserve you. Yeah, completely agree. Right, so questions. So let me just go back to that original question, how to, you know, when you write down things and then you can't read your writing. Can you please remind me of the questions? How to lose not your way, not lose your train of thought. I've just deciphered my notes in time. Who asked me that question? I just don't want to lose my train of thought in your interview. Was it you, Sarah? Losing train of thought. Very, very common. It's to do with technique. And if you've got an interview tomorrow, I don't want to bombard you with technique. In the company, I'm make a point of doing. Oh, I'll read that in a second. Okay, let's just answer this question. So, how to not lose, this is the question and this is the answer. How to not lose your train of thought when you're in an interview. And on my website, in the section interview story impression technique, my interview technique that I coach, I've got this covered for you and you can download the steps. But I just don't want to bombard you with too much information because I know I've gone through quite a lot. But there's 3 things that I advise to do before you answer any question. And it's what you do in your mind so that you don't lose your train of thought. The first thing is to understand why they're asking you the question in the first place. It's almost like you say to yourself, I'm only thinking of 3 things in this answer, because if you've got too much to think of, your mind, it just goes like this and it's too much. There's just too much to think about, especially in an interview situation. So when they've asked you a question like, tell me about a project that you've delivered in the past. What did you do and how did you know that it was successful? A standard competency-based interview question about projects. So first things first, you just understand, why are you asking me this question? Yes, you're asking me about my experience around delivering a project, but really you're asking me this question because you want to I'm going to be doing that in this role, and you want to know whether or not I can deliver, whether or not I know what a good project looks like, and whether I've had success in doing it. So always give yourself a bit of time, a few seconds. Sometimes a bit of silence feels really uncomfortable, especially when you've got like people waiting for you to answer. But even from a presentation point of view, keeping a little bit of a wait builds a bit more of an anticipation anyway, so it works in your favor. So you just breathe yourself a few seconds. Why are you asking me this question? Okay, all right, you want me to demonstrate that I know what a good project looks like, I've had success in doing it, and that I've done it successfully. And how did I do it? So then the second thing you do is you identify your strongest example of delivering a project. So in your mind, you just float them through and you go in, because they're looking for this, I'm going to choose that project. I'm going to choose the project that I delivered in that job role when I did this. Because when I delivered that project, there was a really good outcome. We won new business, for example, or I delivered it at an executive meeting and it got sign off. It was bought. The project was endorsed and it became something massive. You know, you choose your best example. So these are the only things that you need to be thinking about in an interview situation, and it's going to help you not lose your train of thought because you're focusing the mind on one thing at a time. So it's like, just understand the question, first of all. Choose my best example. And then you visualize it. This is the step. This is the killer step that most people don't do. But if they did it, it would make so much difference to their interview and their presentation, and just through remembering everything. What you need to do is to visualize that example. Give yourself a little bit of time. It might feel like a lifetime, but it actually would only be a couple of seconds, no doubt. If you just imagine it, where was you when you was delivering this project or in this example that you're about to give? Who was there? What did you see? What did you feel when you delivered that, the impact, the success? What did you overcome? Have it in your mind. Almost create like a little snapshot, a little movie of like, oh, I had to like call a team meeting, and then I had to plan it all. Oh, and then I had to deliver it, to, present it. Oh, and I really remember feeling so happy when it was all signed off and agreed. I remember seeing that person's face, Sheila's face, and she was like really disgruntled and jealous because I did it and she didn't, or whatever happened. Have it really clear in your mind. It's like you take yourself back, where you can almost immerse yourself in the example that you're about to give, because I can guarantee you, when you talk from the place of where you can feel it and visualize it, you'll bring it to life more. You'll add more detail to it. So it won't just be like a static, I delivered this project, I planned it, I said it out loud at a presentation, and it created this result. That's boring. When you talk from the place of pride, I was there, I saw this, I felt that, the outcome was great because this person came up to me and thanked me for this, you will remember it more. Losing a trail of thought is more to do with not having the end in mind. So if you do the first 3 steps of what I've just said about understanding the why, getting your best example, and then getting it clear in your mind, your trail of thought is really just to communicate how you got from A to B. It's really just the journey. So it's just remembering the why. Why have they asked me this question? Losing a trail of thought is if you feel like you're talking and you've lost your trail of thought, you can just say, I feel like I might be going on a tangent here, and I really, really want to answer your question. So I'm just going to give myself a few seconds to just get back on track and literally just be like, what is the question that they asked me? Okay, I'm here now. Okay, so I've explained that I did this. Now, in order for me to deliver this successful project, what I did next was this, this, and this. Or I really feel like everything that I've just said explains the question, but just to finalize, I really feel like this shows that I can do this, this, and this. So power, you're in control. Yes, it's daunting because they're testing you on, it's an unnatural situation to be in an interview. You've got people who you barely know just like judging you basically, but you've got more power than you think. You can ask them to repeat the question. You can pause. You can have like a little bit of time to just gather your thoughts and go, do you know what? I think I've lost my train of thought. I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to just collect where I'm at the moment. People respect just honesty and just being natural. Yeah. But also technique is really, really important, which is why I have the interview story impression technique, and why I'm massively opposed to the STAR technique that people are told to use, because it stifles just the natural flow of talking. Hopefully that kind of answers your question. What I would say is check out the technique on my website. Another question, was there another question? Malika, did I answer your question? I know that in your case, and you've mentioned, Malika, that you're stepping up. So you're applying for a role with more responsibility or more strategy. And for anybody who's tuned in, who is applying for a role that's either different or is like a next level or a next step, all I'd say is turn up Peacock mode more. Like practice it a bit more, because it's never about whether or not you've got the skills and experience to do what you want to do next, to take that career step. What it actually is more to do with training your brain and your mind that you're ready for that next step, because the mind doesn't like change. It doesn't like anything new. And if you think about it, because obviously it likes to keep us safe, it likes routine, it likes to be in the same kind of thing, it likes to be on autopilot. So whenever there's something new that comes into life, like a job, new colleagues, new environment, new challenges, new responsibilities, yeah, it subtly, it's very easy to almost self-sabotage, to kind of talk yourself out of applying, to talk yourself out of feeling ready for that next step. It subtly kind of goes, oh, that's going to represent a lot of change, a lot of responsibility. Do you really want it? And it's almost like you have to do like a mind reset, an overload, where it's like, yes, I am ready. These are all the benefits that are going to come from me taking this next career step. And I am ready. And visualizing what you gain when you do that, and you get it, and you get that confirmation contract that says, here are your terms, here's the wage that you can be expecting, here's all the company perks. You know, allow yourself to imagine what happens when you do give yourself permission to go for it. So when it comes to applying for anything that's kind of next step or something new, then really have a strong anchor, have a really strong, bold statement that you're saying daily that is training you to feel more ready for it. Because, you know, it's very subtle the way that the sabotage or the limited beliefs can play out. Okay, any more questions? Because it's nearly 20 past. I mean, to be fair, I can talk all day about applying and interviewing. I love it. But I really want to keep this, like, I don't want it to be too long for you. It's Sunday. I'm sure you'll be doing nice things today. Have you enjoyed this? Has it made sense? Is there anything that you feel, what do you feel like you're going to take away from today? Is there anything that you're going to do differently? Or has anything kind of resonated with you in particular that you feel, yeah, I really got that, or I really enjoyed doing that, or this was a bit of an eye-opener? Anything? How do I compete? Feeling more powerful? Yes, that's what we want. Malika, how do I compete against those? Oh, that was the question. How do I compete against those who have followed the traditional route to strategy director? I don't want to compromise on level because I've put in the work. Okay. So to answer this question, it's about not thinking about you and your competitors and what they've done. Let's think about the employer, because they're the ones that are going to make the decision. They're the ones that we need to be more kind of thinking about. Why would they find it a problem? How do I compete against those who have followed the traditional route to strategy director? So, first of all, are you getting shortlisted for this role? Because it won't be to do with the route that you've taken. It's, have you got the experience to do it? Have you got the skills, and are your application documents positioning you and proving that the job that you're applying for, you've got more than enough skills and experience to do it? Because the application process is two stages, isn't it? You need to get shortlisted for interview. So the application, the CV, the cover letter, the LinkedIn profile, all of that needs to do enough to get you to interview. So first things first, are you getting shortlisted for interview? Because once you're in that shortlist for interview, the employer's already said, they've already made the decision. This person can compete. This person is in my pool of the strongest candidates. They typically hire within the pool. I'm not getting shortlisted. I'm within the industry. Okay, so that might mean that the role that you're applying, it won't be the to do with the direction or the trajectory that you took to get there. It's more to do with how much are you getting shortlisted, or how much are you demonstrating that you have enough in terms of getting shortlisted for interview. So I don't doubt, Malika, that you haven't got the experience and the skills. You have. But if they typically hire within the pool, then does that mean that there needs to be increased networking? Does that mean that there needs to be more relationships with the hiring managers, with the people that are making the decisions, so they can see your expertise, that they can feel that confidence from you? Because they just want somebody who can deliver now their agenda, their whatever it is that they're wanting to do. They just want to find somebody who can do that. You are that person. So if this traditional application route isn't working right now, then I would be getting in front of them and showing that tenacity, that determination, because you know that you've got the experience and the skills to do it. We just need to prove that for them. I'll be nervous. Okay, so then when it comes to competitors, it's having that, it's what I call the so what. So what? You've got this skills, you've got this experience, you know you can do it. So what's the so what? What does it mean for them that you can do this? What problem are you solving? What is that personal brand of yours that they really, really need to buy into, because it's going to allow them to do this? You are the key to what they want. And it's like having a really strong so what, or what I would call a really strong core offer, the thing that they gain by choosing you, the stamp that you put on things. So how strong is that core offer? And I sense, Malika, that you have got what it takes. I wouldn't look at the competitors. I would have tunnel vision here. I would be like, forget what they've done, because it's not like you can like go back in time, or you're going to be wasting time trying to follow any type of trajectory that somebody else has. Why not embrace the journey that you've got to here, package it up, have the confidence to absolutely prove that your way is actually the best way, because it means that you've looked at things, you've experienced things that's completely different to everybody else, and that's unique. It's like marketing. It's like it is marketing. It's just really hard to market yourself. Like, everybody finds that hard. Even I have a coach. I have somebody to help me bring out the best in me, because I can do this stuff on my own, but it's much more stronger when you've got another kind of person to go, well, why? We could describe it like this. So what I would say is, don't look at the competitors. Focus on what's amazing about you, and do more of the step one, the kind of confidence piece. And when it comes to the application, use me. Use me. I'm here. We can have a look at that and we can strengthen it. So Anybody else? Very informative. Oh, I'm glad that you found it informative. Alternative verbs to the norm. Oh, so that's what you're taking away, Nicola. That to look at words, those kind of normal, but like generic, what I call slightly boring, and then turn them into Peacock words. So did everybody sign up? Because I like to communicate with people and I can send the replay and everything. So, if you've watched this, but you didn't originally like sign up, then please do so, because then it means that I can send you like the resources that I'm going to be sharing after this. If you're on LinkedIn, connect with me. If you're not already a connection, say hi. I will be delivering this in my Facebook group. I don't know if you're on Facebook. I've done this because not everybody's on Facebook. But I'm going to be in my Facebook group tomorrow evening and Tuesday doing this again. And check out my website, because I have loads of resources. I have a whole section called resources that have loads of little tutorials and things. I have an interview section which has all my interview technique and other resources. And the work with me section has some of the packages of support that I offer. So I have my mentorship where we do everything, interview coaching, the lot. I'm there by your side, applying for every role, making sure that you are not underselling yourself, increasing that interview rate, because that's what we want. We want you to have more interviews, more practice at bringing yourself to life and feeling really ready and confident to do that, so that you've got options, so that you get multiple job offers and then you get to choose which one feels right for you. Absolutely believe that you can do that. I do an application and interview review service. So if you feel like you could do with like some really honest and helpful feedback on your current application documents, your LinkedIn profile, and we do like a mini interview together, and I can say, if you was to just do this and let's trial that, and then you come away from it going, yes, I'm really ready for my next interview, then I do that. And I'm just here just to share my messages. So I'm so happy that you joined me today. It's been so lovely. And I have like a follow-up, almost like a summary of all of this. So sign up if you're wasn't originally signed up, just so I've got you on my email list, and I can send it to you. Or just look out for my posts and things. So I want you to have a wonderful rest of the day. I've so enjoyed this. And you've peacocked it without sounding really cheesy. I've really gone to town with this peacock thing. I've actually got I'm looking at it now on my in my living room. I've got a peacock cushion. This is on my mantelpiece. I've really gone to town on the whole peacock thing, but I just love it. Hopefully you do too. All right. So thanks so much for joining me, and I hope that you'll join me for more future things too. All right. Bye, guys.